Hi, I'm William. If you're a gamer, you play video games, right? People play video games to get their adrenaline pumping, to get their competition on, or to relax. But there's one more reason people may play video games, and that would be to experience a story. Stories come in many different forms, whether it be through spoken word or books, but video games take a different approach to stories. Video games allow you to self-insert yourself into the story and make you feel like you're part of that world, which is something books can't typically do. If you're reading a book, you're simply a spectator of that world. In a video game, you can be the protagonist of the story. With this in mind, I would like to mention a game that is very special to me. It goes by the name Limbus Company and is currently being developed by Project Moon Game Studios. And when I say currently developed, I mean it's released to the public and Project Moon just hasn't completely finished the game's story. Why I'm mentioning this game is because it has changed my perspective on books and literature, something I never thought possible. All my life, I've pretty much despised books and loved games because games are simply more interactive and fun. I played many story games, but Limbus Company was different. Play as a person who has lost all memory of their former self and is suddenly thrown in as the manager of this so-called Limbus Company. You wear a red swallowtail suit and have a burning clock in place of your head. All you remember is that your name is Dante. Your goal is to travel around the city collecting golden boughs or tree branches with the people in your company, and you don't even know why. The game's overarching literacy reference that serves for the foundation of all the other literacy references is actually Dante's Inferno, evident by your name being Dante. The game is split into cantos, or acts, similar to Dante's Inferno. Every canto focuses on one of the 12 characters, all of which are derived from their own books. Here are most of them. You may recognize ones like Homer's Odyssey or Moby Dick. Limbus Company takes these pieces of literature and molds them into the world that Limbus Company takes place in. What's surprising is that they are adapted very closely to the source material rather than being loosely based. Most of the characters in Limbus Company even have the same names from the respective literacy references, like Don Quixote from Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes, and Ishmael from Moby Dick by Herman Melville. In Canto 6, which is pretty far along in the game, you experience the story of Heathcliff and Cathy. Now if you've read Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, you will recognize these names. At the time though, I never knew what this book was. If I were to summarize it, in Limbus Company, Canto 6 is about how a sickly girl, Catherine, is given a special mirror from the head butler of the manor she lives in, whose name is Nellie. This mirror allows her to see the various worlds outside her own, and the lives she lives in different universes. However, there is not one where Heathcliff, her lover, is happy with her. She desperately searches these mirror worlds every night to find a single world in which they're happy together, only to make no progress. Eventually, she researches the mirrors in order to kill herself in every world so that Heathcliff can be happy. On the other hand, a rogue Heathcliff travels to as many worlds as he can to kill the other versions of himself so that Cathy can live happily without him. So yeah, it's a dark gothic cycle of never-ending torment. In the end, Cathy and Heathcliff are eternally longing for one another, yet they try so desperately to isolate themselves from each other. As crazy as this story came to me, I enjoyed it to the point where I actually went and read the book it was based on, which is Wuthering Heights. What I discovered is that the book was way more enjoyable than any I've ever read, and I suspect it to be from the impression Limbus Company gave me. This game is full of dark but interesting stories like this one, so if you like darker themes, Limbus Company will not disappoint. Something interesting I found is that when I looked on Amazon for one of these books, aka The Wings by Yi Sang, I found that people typically buy other books that Limbus Company references to with this book.
Coincidence? I think not.
This is proof that people who play Limbus Company are going and buying the books it references to. Why else would these books be bought together? After all, their only ties together are from Limbus Company.
Actually, their ties could be that they're classical novels.
If you enjoy playing games in your meantime, or enjoy reading books, I seriously recommend you both try playing Limbus Company and reading the books it's based on. It may not be your cup of tea, and it sure wasn't mine when I first started playing it. However, it grew on me, and this may sound silly, but I wouldn't be the same person I am today without it. Perhaps discovering Limbus Company here may be the start of your passion for literature and video games, books, and story creation, as it was for me. If you decide to play Limbus Company, I highly recommend searching up its disclaimers as it has many dark and disturbing themes that may not be suitable for everyone. And with that, Thank you for listening.